It's the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper, your host. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you'll always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. You can find the streams on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook or on YouTube when you search WTIM TV. Nokomis School District Superintendent Dr. Scott Dewar on the phone, giving an update on Nokomis School District. Good to have you back, Dr. Dewar.
Thanks, Avery. Glad to be back and talk to you about everything good happening in Nokomis today.
One of those good things that are going on, you mentioned to me off air how you just had your FFA banquet yesterday, right? Yeah, how'd it go?
We did last night. We had our FFA banquet last night, and we have we have two ag teachers. Both of them are fairly new, 2 and 3 years of experience, and they do a fabulous job. I say we have probably 50 or 60 kids in the FFA this year, and they learn so much being part of that program. Not only leadership skills, but teamworking skills, and that was the emphasis in their message last night is how they can work in teams to collaborate and find solutions to problems and not only learn about agriculture and the agriculture field, but learn about life skills. And we had a lot of kids get a lot of awards last night. We had almost 250 people at that banquet last night, which kind of shows you the depth and the breadth of our ag program here.
How many students are enrolled in FFA at Nokomis?
Yeah, I think right now we have about 50 to 60 kids in the FFA program. So it's a big part of our daily curriculum, if you will.
Yeah, in terms of other years, has that been kind of on an upswing since, say, about 2020, or have you is this about what you expected?
Not really. I mean, that program has always been a great program in our school. Obviously, with the late Mr. Meyer, who had been in the district for well over 30 years, he brought that program alive here in Nokomis, and he was a major player in the FFA statewide program. And one of our ag teachers is a graduate from Nokomis High and had Mr. Meyer as a teacher. And our other teacher is from the other side of the county of Montgomery County in Litchfield, and knew Mr. Meyer, and he was the type of person that would take any kid under his wing and guide them. And I think these two teachers now have also brought that with them, and made this program an outstanding program. Nokomis is probably one of the leading programs in this area and around the state.
What were some of the highlights of the FFA year over the course of the last 9 months or so? Any conventions, trips, anything else that you'd like to highlight about the Nokomis FFA program, Dr. Dewar?
Sure. They obviously attend both state and national convention. One new program that they implemented this year was Wreaths Across America, where they had obtained in some cases made wreaths and put them out at cemeteries. This was part of a national campaign for the FFA organization, and this was the first year we participated in that, and the kids loved it. Kids go to leadership conferences throughout the state, and obviously they go to contests, right? That's their main thing. We had several kids that placed not only one in their sectional area, but also placed in statewide competition. So that's still ongoing. We still have more things to do as we wind down this school year, and then they'll be attending their conventions, obviously, over the summer.
And switching gears, unless there's anything else that you could think of for FFA, I wanted to talk a little bit about your sports and how that's going.
Good. Hey, we're having a fabulous year in our athletic department. Our junior high girls basketball teams took third and fourth in state in the Class 2A girls basketball tournament. Both our high school boys and high school girls had a great season. They were both teams were over 20 wins for the season. They both, unfortunately, got knocked out at the regional championship round. Both of them had super tough regionals this year. with some great teams in them. But one thing I also want to highlight is the fact that this is the first year since the early 1980s that Nokomis has implemented a track program. And I'll tell you what, some of the kids have we've participated in both indoor and outdoor track meets over the last several weeks, and they're doing a fabulous job showing off their talents in both sprints and long distance running, as well as in field events. Um, and they're really excited about that. You know, obviously it's the spring, so baseball and softball are on their way. The weather hasn't helped much with those two sports, having a lot of games canceled over the last couple of weeks with the rain and field conditions.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, spring is definitely here, and we are in full gear.
When did you? So this year you had the new track program. That
We do.
just this one. Okay, so did you always have a regulation track at Nokomis, or do you use somebody else's? Or
No, we do not have a track here
okay,
at Nokomis. Um, you know, even back in the day when I was coaching junior high track, I had a field track, and so we've kind of quasi put together a track out by our football field. We do have area schools that allow us to come and practice on their tracks. You know, especially getting kids to practice on handoffs and things like that. We have put in a regulation shot and discus area, thanks to our collaboration that we have with the Nokomis Park District. And, you know, we're making it work, and the kids are really enjoying it and loving to participate in something different this year.
now I'm inferring here based on the information you've given me, or Dr. Dewar, but I can infer that with the addition of the track program that you are probably, and not maybe right away, but at some point you might be looking at upgrading your facilities a little bit. Is that in the cards for track and field at all?
Well, you know, coaches always talk about that, right? However, there's always a question of space, and so you know that may be something down the road, but we're going to see how this plays out over the next couple years, and you know make sure we have our sites and our surveys that we've done on athletics to ensure that the program has good stability, which I think it will. But that's something that we'll have to talk about in the future.
So in other words, it's not in the plans right now, but
Not
hey, you
not
never know.
not, not right at this moment. No.
Okay, understood. And I guess what I want to know is what inspired the return of the track program.
We had several students over the last couple years talk to us about it. We had some parents come in and speak with myself and the building administration about the possibility of bringing back track. And of course, we're required to do surveys every few years, and that has always been a major thing that kids wanted, was track and field. So our athletic director, Mr. Reedy, kind of took the bull by the horns this year. We'd actually hired a teacher that had a background in track and field, so he got involved and got kids excited about it, and we had some parent involvement that went out and helped us find, you know, supplies, and you know, track's not a cheap sport with hurdles
Mhm.
and jumping pits and all the equipment that's needed. So they've helped us do some fundraising, and the board was very eager to get more kids involved in more activities. We always want to give kids a well-rounded education, whether that's academics or extracurricular. Obviously, we have a big FFA program, but we also have a big FCCLA program. And so, you know, when we get more kids involved in activities, it's a better educational program for them. And so we were able to get track and field off and running. We finally got that approved, I think, in January, and it's been going strong. I think we got about 40 kids out for track right now, and they're doing some great things.
Mm. FCLA, forgive me, Dr. Dewar, what is that?
FCCLA is the
FCCLA.
old uh, Future Homemakers of America
Mm.
program. It's the old home ec program. They've rebranded it several years ago. So it's it's the old home ec club, and so kids. I think at last count, I think we had about 100 kids in that program right now, and we have a culinary arts teacher that is second to none, and they make some great food every single day, and so kids get involved in that. They do, pumpkin carving contests. They do chili cook-offs. They have all kinds of fun, and it gives them, something that they can develop a lifelong skill. Cooking, everyone has to eat, right? And so we have, chef hat ceremonies, and we have chef coat ceremonies, and we have a dual credit class called the Bake Shop that we teach in coordination with Lincoln Land. And so once they get into that class, they earn their red chef coat, and kids just have a great time in that class, and they see a lot of benefit for that.
Just another example of the well-rounded education that Nokomis School District strives to achieve.
Absolutely.
And that is Superintendent Dr. Scott Dewar. I want to hear from him a little bit more after this short time out. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. And People's Bank and Trust, they put people first.
WTIM. The Shelby County Economic Development Corporation aims to foster, promote, and stimulate economic development, from keeping existing industry and retail businesses successful and thriving to attracting new investment in Shelby County. The Shelby County Economic Development Corporation is here to help your business grow. It also sponsors job fairs to fill positions at existing employers and encourages future entrepreneurs in the Shelby County CEO program. Find out more on the Shelby County Economic Development Corporation by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Farmer-owned Prairie Farms Dairy is proud to offer Grab and Goes. Now you can get your favorite Prairie Farms whole milk, skim milk, chocolate milk, 100% pure Florida orange juice, and strawberry milk in a handy, easy-to-carry Grab and Goes. It'll quench your thirst, plus give you lots of vitamins and minerals your body needs. It's easy and convenient. Grab and Goes from your friends at Prairie Farms Dairy. Grab them today in your grocery or convenience store. Made fresh by the farmer families of Prairie Farms Dairy. Wishing you and your family a blessed Easter season.
Rolling Meadows Senior Living in Taylorville invite you to make their home your home. Become part of the Rolling Meadows family. Applications for residency are now being accepted. Rolling Meadows offers seniors 62 and older a smoke-free facility with round-the-clock maintenance, controlled access, large kitchens with full-size appliances, on-site laundry facilities, complimentary Wi-Fi in common areas, and more. Call 217-287-2450 to schedule an appointment. Rolling Meadows is sponsored by Lutheran Social Services of Illinois and funded through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and Federal Home Bank of Chicago. Rolling Meadows is an equal housing opportunity provider.
At Central Illinois Outdoors, with me, Jared White, we want you to be a part of the program as well via the Archer's Alley Catch of the Week. Each week, we'll select one of your pictures submitted at centralillinoisoutdoors.com and invite you to tell your story of the great outdoors. We're looking for your kid's first catch or even your first big buck. There's a simple, easy form you can fill out on your phone or computer at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. Send us your story, send us your pic. centralillinoisoutdoors.com and the Catch of the Week, brought to you by Archer's Alley, North 22nd Street in Decatur.
Let's swing open the farm gate together every day on News Talk WTIM. I'm Stu Ellis, your host of the long-running agriculture feature called The Farm Gate. I bring the latest news and information on where agriculture is and where it's going to WTIM Ag listeners every weekday morning. From tariffs to treaties, from the Board of Trade to the running board of your truck, I cover Central Illinois agriculture every weekday on The Farm Gate. Hear it on all of News Talk WTIM's many platforms, on air or online. Join me, Stu Ellis, for The Farm Gate.
Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Tufan from Taylorville Urgent Care. We're a walk-in clinic that's open 7 days a week to take care of sniffles, injuries, broken bones, and more. Find out more by clicking on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Just Beds are the yawn exterminators, and they can give you a better night's sleep. Choose from Bemco, Chatham & Wells, Sealy, Simmons, and Tempur-Pedic. Find out the many models and styles available on their updated website by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
It's the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper, your host. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville. You'll always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. I am Superintendent of Nokomis School District, Dr. Scott Dewar, on the phone. And Dr. Dewar, around this time every year, it's the sun's shining, and, well, that's kind of a blessing and a curse in a way for a lot of students, because when the sun starts shining for the students, that means a lot of times they probably have some standardized testing and whatnot to take care of before they can go outside. It is that time of year, Dr. Dewar, so if you would provide me the state of your testing and evaluation, if you will.
Sure. Yep, this is testing week for the IAR, which is the Illinois Assessment for Readiness. We test kids from 3rd through 8th grade, mostly in math and reading, and then a couple grades get tested also in science. So testing is this week, and we're underway. And we encourage kids obviously to get some good sleep and eat breakfast. We offer obviously free breakfast here at school for everyone, and to do the best they can. I think the key here for me as an administrator is to see growth in our kids. We want to make sure that they're growing academically as a student, and even if it's by a grade level or a half a grade level, we want to see that growth. Normally, state testing, standardized testing is a one-time snapshot throughout the school year.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do our own localized testing as well. We do what is called the MAP test or a MAP test. We do those 3 times a year, in the fall, the winter, and the spring. So we saw some great growth in our kids from the fall to the winter testing. And so, up to, 10 percentage points in growth in our kids over that time, and so we're feeling really good about the curriculum that we put into place.
Is 10% a lot, a little?
10%'s good based on the national norms, right?
Okay.
So if you have a group of kids that are at grade level, coming into, let's say, 3rd grade at the fall,
okay,
and they grow in a growth model by 10%, that's almost a whole school year.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we're seeing some great numbers come out of that assessment. So we're hoping when we get our IAR scores back this fall, we're seeing the same growth. So from from the previous year to last year, we saw a 55% growth in our scores. And so that was great news. Some people look at it and say 55%, well, that's failing. Well, that's not how a growth model works.
Mm-hmm.
A growth model works a little bit differently. So we're seeing that a vast majority of our kids are growing academically based on the curriculum that we provide.
To summarize a little bit there, the MAPS test, you're seeing a 10% growth from fall to winter. And a lot of times you'll expect to see that throughout the course of the year, and you're just getting it from one part of the year. And
right.
That's
right.
You still have more growth to evaluate, hopefully.
Absolutely. We'll do our last MAP testing in early May, late April. And then we'll combine all that data. And then we always share it out to the community and to the Board of Education. We put in a new English language arts curriculum this year. We updated our math curriculum at the elementary and junior high school. And so we're really looking to see how that curriculum has affected those growth models that we take a look at.
That is Superintendent Dr. Scott Dewar of the Nokomis School District. Dr. Dewar, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoy the hopefully beautiful month of April.
Absolutely. Thank you. You too.
All right. Take care, Dr. Dewar. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you'll always do better with Landmark. People's Bank and Trust. They put people first.
WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1.